Oh, sorry for that little longer than usual setup time, guys. Yeah, that's a thing that's happening. Hi. No, sorry, that was for my phone. If you're wondering what that whole, also I was taking a phone call, so that was what that whole convo was about. I'd rather, yeah, because I'd rather not get a new number and like confuse people. So that's the thing, because Okami's phone is like on its last legs. And
you can't even get a stupid bunny game. I
can't get my bunny game, you know, my idle bunny game, and it's kind of depressing because it's a cute game, but it's like, it's an adorable game, but it's like really simple. And it's like, oh, your phone can't handle the idle bunny game. And I'm like, oh, okay, so this is the last straw. It's not the, yeah. You know, this poor cat. Hi, everybody. How are you, though? I hope your weekend was good. That was not me who typed Baja Bingus, by the way. That was JT hijacking my computer. Yes.
You have no proof.
Yes, you totally took over my keyboard.
I didn't do shit.
While I was in the bathroom. I walked back in here.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I'm talking about what I saw when I came back from the bathroom. Do not have any of those, so cannot do that.
What about a dancing lobster?
We don't have dancing lobster. Okay, first of all, the lobster costume itself doesn't dance. You enable the dancing. Well, we do not have a lobster costume.
Baja Bingus.
Yes. Okay, stir fry sounds really good.
I want a Baja Blast now.
Well, go get one. You have the power. Are you going? Oh no. Well, we'll see if the JT journey to Baja actually happens. But yeah, we're gonna start off case 2 like right now. So yeah, we're just gonna dive right into that. I apologize ahead of time if I start coughing a ton again. Not totally clear of the chest congestion. Thankfully it never developed into something more, but man, I cannot kick this congestion right now. So apologies if Okami starts hacking again, like she's a chronic cigarette smoker, because I can't help it right now. But I'm gonna do my best to maybe turn up the game audio the tiniest of bits. Yeah, I can do that. Let me know. I just bumped it up a very tiny bit. Let me know if that works. Otherwise, if that's good, yeah, seems good. All right, thank you, Talanos. All right, we're gonna jump right on ahead then. Man, no, this better not be another tutorial. Oh, hold on, can you guys accidentally, oh yeah, I'm also gonna lower the volume on my screen, because I didn't realize the volume was still on and I don't want it to echo, because I was playing some Rune Factory 3. Okay, here we go, now that I got that muted. Alright, we're gonna jump right in. Are you serious? There's gonna be tutorials until case 6? Holy heck, how many new systems are in place? Titanic? I'm already invested.
In a corner of that small, dark room, Sholmes and I waited with bated breath. In time, there came from the ventilator a hiss and a soft, almost growl-like sound. Suddenly, Sholmes sprang into action, lashing furiously with his cane at a point in the darkness. "You see it, Wilson?" he yelled, his tense voice reverberating through the air. I raised my dark lantern's shutter, and the room slowly came into view. Sholmes was staring intently at one particular corner when he started whispering to me. The victim's most perplexing final words. The speckled band. I believe this is the terrible coil to which you referred, Wilson. In front of us was an enormous adder, its fangs bared as it threatened to strike. It truly was the most terrible speckled band I had ever seen.
I was gonna say the intro, not the case. I was actually gonna ask if this related to any works of Sherlock. I was actually really curious. Are we about to meet like 9 new people? Oh gosh, I hope not. My social anxiety can't handle that.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder. Pray, do excuse me. The cabin door was bolted from the inside when the man was killed. No marks to suggest the bolt was tampered with in any way. So, this would appear to be a locked room mystery. In his final moments, the victim scrawled a message on the floor. Almost certainly with the ink from this upset bottle. A Russian word. So the victim was a Russian man then. And the letters are well formed, suggesting he was compos mentis at the time. This is a most extraordinary script. And evidently not penned by the same hand as this message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality. This paper seal was placed just prior to the incident, by the victim himself, I would venture. Well, what have we here?
Who are you, and what do you think you're doing here?
No one must touch before maritime police come. We must wait!
Shh. That won't be necessary. You see, in less than 5 seconds from now, I will reveal the killer to you.
What? Don't be absurd. This is murder. And in cabin locked from inside.
Ah yes, the locked room. But that mystery is paper thin.
You don't mean the culprit is in there?
Who are you, and where have you come from?
I'm a great British consultant detective, the only one in the world. Sherlock Holmes. I presume you must have heard of me.
Oh, it's him. I didn't want to talk over the dialogue, but you're absolutely right. I'm such a fake Titanic fan. It's far too early. Ugh, my head is throbbing. What's going on? I was gonna say all those colorful little vials he had too looked like they looked like, gosh, they looked so edible. They probably aren't edible. You probably shouldn't, but all the colors just made it very tempting. Something's not right here. There's trouble in the air. It does look like forbidden juice, but it's got like one for every flavor. Wait, I can't move. What the? Why am I in handcuffs? So, you wake up now, huh? We had to drag you out of the wardrobe. I do not believe how you could not wake up here. You are a true cold-blooded man. You found me then. We found you, and now you pay, criminal. Wait, why am I'm being framed again? Like, in a row? How long are you hiding in that tiny wardrobe, sorry. Now you have been found. It is time to admit your crimes. What crimes? I took a nap in Narnia? Him being literally named Sherlock Holmes in the original Japanese version is the most of the reason the US release of the game was delayed. Wait, was it actually a copyright thing? Unless you want to find out how cold the ocean is. No, I'll tell you everything. There's only one thing I'd like to know from you. Isn't that... Why did you do it? Why did you take his life? Miss Susato? Wait, what did you just say? Take his life? Where is he? Where's Kazuma? Oh my god, wait, don't tell me Kazuma's dead. I don't believe it. You pretend you do not know. You are a wolf in sheep's pelt. No. You are the killer. Do not try to make excuses. What? Kazuma-sama's body was discovered not that long ago. You gotta be kidding me! Oh my god! You gotta be kidding me! He's going out. Wait. Is he going out the zoo? I'm sorry. I don't believe. No. No. I refuse to believe they're pulling a Mia. I absolutely refuse. They cannot. I'm in denial, obviously, but still. Here, in this very cabin, that was bolted shut from the inside. His body? Please, do not try to tell us you were doing this terrible thing in your sleep. Kazuma's dead? But he can't be. And these handcuffs. Surely you don't think I have to know. Why did you take Kazuma-sama's life? Answer me, please. No. I don't know. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. He's gonna come back some way, somehow. I'm truthfully in denial. Who is Trucy's Mia then? That is a good question. Do we get that answer further down the line? Don't actually answer that. It would be funny if we got that answer down the line. Also, that is really dumb that they just swapped 2 letters and the game couldn't come out because of that. Like, if anything, I'd be flattered. I'm like, oh, a homage? Like, yeah, Kazuma. It was just 2 short weeks ago. Are you sure about this? Won't we get in trouble? Don't you find it fun being a stowaway? Besides, how else could you come to England with me to study? It was really something else when they brought your luggage in here earlier, though. The way that Russian crewman just tossed your traveling case onto the floor. I thought I was going to die. Yeah, I still can't quite believe that. I really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my truck. Oh my gosh, did they at least? I always joke about this. Like, you know, hi, it's free airfare if you just poke holes in the... Don't actually do that. Disclaimer, don't actually do that. But did they, like, actually, like, poke holes in there so he could breathe? I'm assuming so. You must be even less of a man than you look. Hey, honestly, I thought I'd broken every bone in my body. Well, it's about 50 days until we dock in Great Britain. But if you confine yourself to my cabin here, I don't expect anyone will discover you. I hope not. I get the feeling those Russians wouldn't be very forgiving of a stowaway. They're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure. What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady? From our faithful judicial assistant, Mikotoba, you mean? From your close friend, more to the point, surely we could confide in her, couldn't we? I don't believe she'd give me away. No, but if she knew what we'd done, that would make her guilty by association. It's best that only you and I know about this. Now, clearly, if you know your Godzilla lore, oxygen was invented by Dr. Sarasawa, the Oxygen Destroyer. I suppose so. Anyway, it's about the time that the steward is supposed to come and clean the cabin. I know it's cramped, but you better get in there, I think. It won't be for long. And anyway, compared to hiding inside my traveling case, it'll be a breeze. Yeah, but what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? Then I'll be in for it. Stop worrying. I tell you what, why don't you write keep out or something on this piece of paper? What? Then I can stick it over the wardrobe doors once you're inside. I don't know. We've only been at sea for about 15 days. How can this have happened? We were supposed to be going on this adventure to England together. Okay, my thing is, yeah, so even if we clearly didn't, obviously we're not the murderer, but obviously we're gonna be guilty of another crime, so I feel like there's no way out of this. We leave you at next port. Stay quiet until then. Don't make more trouble for yourself. Murderer. No, I'm not a murderer. Duh, you said before. You said you admit everything about your crimes. No, that's not right. I mean, yes, I did stow away on this ship, but murdering my best friend? Air quotes. No one else could have done it. Admit the truth. Susato-san? Please tell me what happened. I need to know. Very well. But there is something I would like to ask of you, too. Those eyes. She looks like she's ready to destroy me. This nightmare is getting worse by the minute. I suppose all I can do is try to find out what really happened. They were actually... Yes. They developed from, you know, air quote roommates to actual roommates to... is technically now single again. I'm so sad right now. Can't anyone tell me what actually happened here in this cabin? I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Kazuma? Presumably that's something you know the answer to better than anyone. Please. Whatever you say, you were here in the cabin after all. Well, yeah, I was, but... he would always wake before dawn and do his training first thing in the morning. I was waiting outside his cabin, as I have every day so far on this voyage. But this morning he did not come. I could sense that he wouldn't. Does that mean he was already dead when Susato-san arrived at his cabin door, I wonder? I knocked, but there was no reply. Then I started to become worried, so I went to find a member of the crew. The crewman forced the cabin door open, and when we managed to get inside, there was Kazuma-sama collapsed on the floor. And the white tape there now shows exactly where he was found, I suppose. I had no idea anything had happened. I must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow. I wish it wasn't the case, but that's just very hard to believe. This is all very hard to believe for me, too. Trust me. He really has been killed, hasn't he? This isn't just a bad dream. And these handcuffs, they think I did it? They think I'm Kazuma's killer? When they found him, the cabin was locked from the inside. What do you mean? There's no access to the cabin via a porthole window, and the bolt on the door can't be operated from outside. Uncle's setting off my chest congestion. I'm sorry, Uncle. I don't recall that being your name. When did you change this again? Uncle, how's you? How's the fam? I hope you guys are doing good. In other words, after the crime, the culprit couldn't have escaped these four walls. What? Mia's not even dead yet. Mia doesn't even exist in this timeline yet. Or to put it in another way, the culprit can only have been somebody inside this cabin. Or do you have some other explanation? This is impossible. How did he die then? What exactly happened? Are you still going to deny the charge, even despite the circumstances? Please, Susato-san, you have to tell me. The cause of death is still undetermined. They don't know how he died? The ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course, he has no post-mortem analysis experience. I don't suppose we shall learn more until an expert has been consulted at our next port of call. So presumably that means there were no obvious external signs of injury then. That's true, yes. Now I've told you everything that I know. So it's my turn to ask you a question. All right. My head feels so heavy. So does my chest congestion. Hold on. Add a sippy sip. It's still throbbing like anything. Why are you even on board this ship, Naruhodo-san? You said something before about being a stowaway, didn't you? Oh yes, I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now, and I've been shut up in this cabin the entire time. I had no idea. But how could you have occupied Kazuma-sama's cabin for so long without him noticing? No, that would have been impossible, obviously. Yes, of course. Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together. He actually asked you? But why? Oh, thank you, hon, for the 27 months. Oh, you did a month ago? I haven't touched the app in a while. Hooray for school, teaching my kids in free time. Oh, Uncle, I know. I get that, school starting. Oh, gosh. Oh, I understand. I'm so sorry I hope you can get more. I hope you can get some well-deserved R&R soon. The Robert Pattinson, no. Do not. Don't, because if you bring up that name, Twilight's gonna come up in this chat. I'm afraid I don't really know the reason myself. I don't understand. Kazuma, why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why go to such extreme lengths to smuggle me to England with you? Date JT Drill Bingus. It's an idea that's been on my mind ever since the end of that incredible trial. I think I told you then, didn't I? That you ought to become a lawyer yourself. It's the skin of a gamer bell. Oh my gosh. Don't, you're gonna knock me out. Well, yes, you did say that, but I didn't think you were serious. You have a talent for it, I can assure you of that. But I've never really thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. London is at the spearhead of cultural development, the center of the world in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there? Well, no, definitely not. But on a personal level, if you were to become a lawyer, then what? Nothing. Forget it. I know, Kazuma's such a bean. I can't believe anything bad would happen. God, I wish he were back. Kazuma-sama he was always saying the same thing. That he wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Perhaps he thought that he could do that with you. Yeah, maybe. But something's still bothering me a little. The look in his eyes then. It was darker than I've ever seen it before. Susato-san. I'm sorry that we kept it a secret from you. My stowing away on the ship, I mean. If I know Kazuma-sama, I expect he was trying to protect me, to avoid me becoming guilty by association. That's exactly right, yes. Word perfect, in fact. Just throwing an idea. We could do case 1 over. Or, we could not. Oh my gosh. We'll be here for another 6 hours. If you're not the culprit, then tell me. What happened last night here in this cabin? Well, the thing is, I don't really remember. Kazuma brought me something to eat just like he always did. And then I got myself into that wardrobe over there, just like I always did. After that, I fell asleep. Well, yeah. So deeply that you didn't even stir when Kazuma-sama was killed? Well, yeah. I know it sounds unbelievable, really, I do. But it's the truth. If only I'd woken up, then perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. And for some reason, my head's still throbbing like anything. Really? Something wrong? Oh, no, it's... Please forget it. Susato-san, you have to believe me. I didn't do it. I really don't want to doubt you. But the trouble is, there is no one else who could possibly have done this. Couldn't someone have climbed... Okay, so I already just noticed something that I'm going to point out when the camera lets me. Kazuma, I don't understand. Why? Why did this have to happen? I can't take this. Okay, right there. Okay, now that the camera zoomed back, over there, top left. Couldn't someone have crawled in and crawled out? I just noticed. You never had migraines before. That's how I describe them. Don't try to go anywhere. You're the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. I can't allow that to happen. I'm sorry. But Kazuma was killed right under my nose here. And I didn't do anything to stop it. Yeah, I'm waiting for Solid Snake to come through there. And now I'm supposed to just sit around, my hands tied, while whoever did this walks free? No, I can't allow that to happen. The problem is everybody is saying we're sus, but we know we're not sus, but someone else here is clearly sus. Well, what do you propose to do then? I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened here. I'm going to work out who took Kazuma's life and how and why they did it. So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me. Did she just knock us out? What the? That was a Susato takedown? Susato what? What martial art form is that? I'm going to need you to prove it. Sorry? Prove it? Yes, Queen! Yes, your innocence. I need evidence. But how am I supposed to... Have you forgotten already? What you achieved just a few weeks ago? You successfully defended yourself in a court of law. I see. She's expecting me to present some conclusive evidence. I have to get Susato-san to believe me. Oh, what evidence do we have? Kazuma would stick this over the door. Oh, right.
Yes!
Tell me, when I was discovered in the wardrobe before, was this piece of paper stuck over the doors? Oh, yes, it was. I remember clearly. I thought so. Kazuma always put it in place whenever I went to sleep in there, just in case the cabin steward or another crew member decided to look inside. So naturally, he did the same last night as well. Yeah, of course. The gentleman who discovered you peeled that sign from the wardrobe doors before he opened them. But if I were truly the culprit, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside of the doors on my own. It would be... I know how to fix this, everyone. We all just literally... we have to watch the rest of the game upside down. Wait, I can do it. Wait. Hold on. I'll fix this. Hold on. I'm doing transform. Rotate 180. There we go. I fixed it. Look at that. I can finally tell what's going on. Okay. Undo. Yes, that's quite true. In other words, it's impossible that I killed Kazuma. Well, even if you are sprawled hopelessly on the floor, I can see why Kazuma-sama thought so highly of you. Thank you, Susato-san. Now, do you think perhaps you could help me up? I know that if it wasn't for the angle, you probably couldn't tell something was off. Well, in the light of that evidence, I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating in here, at least. Thank you. So you finally believe me? I'm sorry. No. What? I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you used some sort of conjuring trick to put the sign back in position. What does she think I am, a magician? For now, I suggest you investigate as thoroughly as possible in here. I'll do the same. Alright, let's get to work. Please don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts. Oh. I shall be watching you to make sure you do nothing that might disturb the crime scene. I wouldn't want you using your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence, for example. Right. Well, anyway, I should make a start on investigating in here. Examine everything I can. Kazuma, I swear, I will avenge your death. Okay, there's a lot in here, so... man, there's just, like, way too much I'm noticing. I kind of like having, evidence overload. The books have fallen over on the shelf. Look, they've all toppled the same way. And what's this? A statue of some god of the sea? Although he's fallen over as well. It's almost as if the whole shelf has been ransacked, and everything mown down at once. I wonder if... perhaps it was Kazuma-sama doing his morning sword training. Do you think? I seriously doubt that. Then perhaps... it was you, Naruhodo-san, in a fit of rage? I wouldn't have bothered leaving the wardrobe just to mess up a few books and a statue. Could the way these things have been thrown about have anything to do with the case, I wonder? Well, I'll just set everything straight again. I don't like to see a mess. I gotta say, so far, Tylenos, this is probably my favorite soundtrack so far in any of the games. It's just, I just love this type of music. I can't really explain it. Oh dear, that won't do. What's the matter, Susato-san? Whenever I'm examining things, I always find myself so focused, I forget to look around properly. Yeah, that's not good. I don't suppose you're as foolish as me in that regard, are you, Naruhodo-san? I'm sure you're careful to look all around. Yeah, here we go, tutorial stuff. I know, I was literally about to say, I really hope we took a picture or something because she totally just messed up the crime scene. Let's do that. I suppose my field of vision has been rather small until now. Okay, that little tiny piece on the floor. What is that? What do you think this is? It looks like a broken piece of glassware. Whatever the thing was, it appears to have broken clean in two. The glass is such a beautiful color. It looks like a cute little Netscape fastener from a kimono outfit. I'm not sure that sounds like Kazuma. He wouldn't have secretly carried a cute little trinket like this around with him, would he? And the mark beside it, what is it, I wonder? It has a sort of brick-like hue. Yeah, you're right. It is the color of a brick, isn't it? Even though I don't see anything of the same color anywhere else in the cabin. That's Kazuma-sama's precious sword. He never went anywhere without it. He was always saying that a Japanese man's katana is his soul. Hold on, I got a sippy. I'm sorry. With cell phone? They didn't even have pagers yet. Man, I feel old saying that. I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on this trip. I suppose that shows just how important it was to him. And now he's gone, and I'm not ready to let his spirit go just yet. Seigi, the Japanese word for justice. The brushstrokes are straight and true, just like Kazuma. Yes, his calligraphy always was a reflection of his heart. Yet you, can you really look at those characters without feeling shame, knowing who drew them so thoughtfully? Of course I can. I mean, I'm innocent, so why wouldn't I be able to? I have a gizmo. Even though you stowed away on this ship? Now you're going to bring that up, are you? I can't win! Okay, Phoenix still uses his flip phone. Okay, flip phones are making a comeback, though. Because, I mean, there's the new Samsung phone. That's a flip phone. I've seen it. I love that phone. No way in heck I can afford that phone, but I love that phone. They're making a comeback, I'm telling you. The camera wasn't invented until Fatal Frame. True story. On the box art. Oh no, Uncle! I hope your keyboard's okay. I'm gonna start worrying. That's my dinner from last night, a roast chicken. It was really tasty. It was very delicious, wasn't it? But, did you eat it on the floor here? I'm not a dog, Susato-san. I ate at the table, of course. Which begs the question of when and how the plate ended up on the floor. I mean, was the boat rocking at some point? But Kazuma-sama didn't like chicken at all, did he? No, that's right, so he didn't touch it. Which meant all the more for me. Oh no! Does that mean poor Kazuma-sama spent his last night on this earth with an empty belly? It's just too horrible. Now I suddenly have a guilty conscience and an achy stomach. You're on the iPad. I'll use the touch keyboard. Oh, still, Uncle. I feel so bad. Hi, chicken. How are you? Did Kazuma write that before he died? It looks like it's written in ink. He must have knocked the ink pot from the desk when he collapsed on the floor. Oh, that's right. We forgot to catch you up, chicken. That's right. Kazuma's dead. I'm not happy. Then I suppose he wrote this message by dipping his finger in the spillage. Poor Kazuma-sama. No doubt he was in terrible pain. It's almost unbearable to imagine it. I suppose he was trying to leave some kind of a clue in his final moments, was he? I'm sorry, partner, but I can't read your writing. I don't think that's Japanese, Naruhodo-san. What? Then what language is it? It pains me to admit it, but...
No.
I don't know. Hi, twin. How are you? Yes, for everyone coming in, Kazuma's dead! I don't know why that... I'm so sorry, that sounded like, I don't know, half excited. I'm not really excited. I'm hurting. It's not a foreign script I'm familiar with. What does it mean, I wonder? Yes, they were literal roommates before he died. Oh, it's like a Shakespearean tragedy. Of course I kept your voice, silly. I'm never getting rid of your voice, Uncle. That's a very large traveling case, isn't it? It carries a lot of memories for me.
I guess that was pretty cool, but it's no
There's
snood.
another one. Memories? What do you mean? Well, that's actually how I stowed away on this vessel. I was brought on board inside that case. Ah, yes, I see it says "this way up" in Japanese. Which in hindsight, I should have realized the foreign crewmen wouldn't be able to read. I was turned over and over and over, and then I was tossed on the floor in here. Oh dear, being a stowaway isn't as romantic as it sounds. Well, it was less painful than a Susato takedown. Oh, I gotta keep drinking. I'm so sorry. I know I sound so congested. Oh, please. It goes both ways. You ain't getting rid of me either. But I love you for doing those still for me. Those are some of my favorite. Those are some of my favorite voice clips here. There's the new one. I don't think you've heard Nestle Crunch yet. Hi, Herb. How are you? Oh, okay, twin. No worries. I hope you've been enjoying the lurk. Oh my gosh. That way. I hate this congestion. I can't get rid of it. This is where dear Kazuma-sama would have sat whenever he was writing. Exactly what I wanted for my birthday month. A cold and constant congestion. London Diary. Poor Kazuma, he didn't even make it to his destination. I'm just hoping at least I could kick this by the time Minikit rolls around. We got Minikit coming up, and I don't want to be playing my game and just sounding congested the whole time. It looks as though the last entry is incomplete. Which means what? He was in the middle of writing it when the incident happened? Let's see what it says. It could be a valuable clue. That's out of the question. What? Kazuma-sama may have departed this world, but you must not read through his private thoughts. Oh, hun. Hun, he told me all his private thoughts while we were roommates. But what if it's something important? Something relevant to the case? Alright, I won't read it. Poor Kazuma-sama. I don't like prying into people's personal matters either. But in this case, isn't the need for clues more important? See, up here. I think that's some kind of opening for a ventilator. A hole through which fresh air can circulate into the cabin. Isn't that a little odd? What do you mean? Well, this ventilator, if that's what it is, looks like it must connect to the next door cabin. Yes, it would appear to. You're right. Wow, that's a little not private. But if its purpose is to allow fresh air into the room, surely it should be connected to the outside. That's true. Perhaps it's so... See, I don't imagine she slapped him. I imagine she full-on, like picked him up over, under the arms and just immediately flipped him over. That's just kind of the image I have going on in my head. Perhaps it's so that rain and spray don't find their way in when the seas are rough, or something like that. I suppose maybe that's it. Who's that? He wasn't there a minute ago. As far as I can tell, it looks like he might be European. Oh, how did he... You noticed the man too, have you? How do you not notice that? I have no idea who he is or how he got in here, but he looks suspicious and tall. Suspiciously tall. Everybody looks suspiciously tall to me. Naruhodo-san, don't tell me. Do you really not know who that is? Well, no, I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances. He doesn't look like a member of the crew. There's something very unusual about him. And is he investigating Kazuma's desk? Or is he just playing on it? I can't tell. Well, in that case, we simply must talk with him. Am I just imagining it, or does Susato-san look almost uncontrollably excited? By the way, I expect that you've noticed already, but just in case... Oh, if you press A on people when they're in the crosshairs, you can converse with them. I'll get that suspiciously tall gentleman in my sights and see what he has to say for himself. Please do. I just want to look at everything first. These are the rules of passage for travel aboard the SS Burya? It's essentially a list of requests from the captain to all passengers on board. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. What? Why are you staring at me? Oh, sorry. I was just thinking. Are you more of a dangerous object or a pet? I'm not really dangerous. I'm not. Wait a minute. I'm neither. I can't decide. Well, one thing's for sure. Either way, I wasn't supposed to be in here. Woof. Stop. Oh my gosh. Talk to people now. Yeah, with my social anxiety, that would be my answer. There's nothing on this table at all. The plate and cutlery are all over the floor for some reason. It's strange. Last night when I went to sleep, I'm sure everything was still. No, wait a minute. What is it? That's funny. I can't seem to remember anything about what happened after dinner at all. So then perhaps you are responsible for what happened to Kazuma-sama? No. What have we not looked at? Just being thorough. Did we miss any besides talking to people? When I went for help and the crewman forced the door open, this bolt had been firmly closed. It's quite a small bolt and not particularly sturdy, and it just slides across to secure the door shut. But still, with the door bolted, there would be no way to get in or out of the cabin, that's for sure. It's no wonder everyone suspects me. When she glares at me like that, I feel tense all up and down my spine. I remember reading once in a detective novel. The culprit used a needle and thread to draw a bolt across from outside the room in a situation like this. Yes, that's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself. But the door of this cabin and its frame are made of metal, and they seal together perfectly. There would be no possibility of using that needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid. When she glares at me like that, I feel pins and needles all up and down my spine. Yes, it's a bell cord contraption, I think. What do you mean contraption? I read about it in a book I was studying that talked about life in Great Britain. Large households often have bell cords like this, which you can pull to ring a bell to summon servants. Really? That sounds almost magical. Shall we give it a little try?
It's magic.
Yes. In the interest of cultural research, obviously. They're so excited about this. I suppose nobody comes for lowly Japanese people. No, I'm sure it's just that everyone is busy, that's all. It's some 2 weeks since we set sail from Japan. Have you really been living in that wardrobe the entire time, Naruhodo-san? It's almost like a title drop. I know, but honestly, really, who doesn't love a good book? Like, not even just detective novel. I sound like a Disney princess, but it's true. I'm not... Oh, knocking things over. Hi, Nacho. How are you? Maya is not a Time Lord. I think living isn't quite the right description. Oh no, I suppose not. Although it must have been rather exciting making this voyage in your own secret hideout. The trouble was, I never knew when a member of the crew might come in. So yes, I did basically have to live in the wardrobe. And last night was no exception. But because of that, you had no idea what was happening out here in the cabin. No, sadly not. Okay, I think that might have been everything in terms of people. In terms of not people. Oh, would you actually buy Maya being a Time Lord? See, I would love... Man, I want to hear people's, like, theories on how it happened. Just throw them at me. I want all the craziest theories y'all have. Eat your hamburgers. Well, they were eating chicken. Excuse me. Do you have a moment? This is a critical point in my investigation. Maybe I should leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly. Yes, perhaps that would be for the best. Greetings! Oh! What exactly were you doing on Kazuma's desk just now? Ah, I see. Fascinating. Sorry, what do you see? It feels like he's looking right through me. Oh yes, everything is clear now. The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. You have been in Afghanistan, I perceive. Just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry? What? And now, whilst venturing toward foreign climes, you find yourself in a most troubling predicament. Well, that's true at least. But how? How the deuce did I know that, perhaps? It was really a most elementary deduction, hardly worth explaining. Have you perhaps managed to deduce anything else? Oh gosh. It's a poor kid's dumb cheat sheet. I feel like Uncle would have that. I cannot badge him. I do not have access to my badge currently. My hands are handcuffed. But of course, a great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madam. For example, you have fled your native land of Russia, being as you are, a merciless revolutionary. You leave 16 victims of assassination in your wake. And now travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower. And when the Barabon occupant of this very cabin discovered your identity, you ended his life too. Yes, I believe that summarizes the facts beautifully. Are you okay? No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives these eyes. Just to be clear, you are talking about me, are you? Certainly I am. Do you see another in this cabin who fits the bill? A Russian assassin with 16 victims. I don't even have one dead body to my name. I don't even see one person who fits thank you. Literally what I just said. So it's true. It was you who did this to Cosmo someone. Yeah, 16, life in jail, no chance of parole. What? And you're plotting a revolution, too. It's shameful behavior, Naruhodo-san. Absolutely wicked. No, listen, there's no way I... We can't argue with that logic. He's got no proof. He made all that up. Now explain yourself. Tell me everything. This is ridiculous. What do you mean what a brilliant man? He hasn't... What are you talking... This man hasn't figured out... How could you do it? For pity's sake, open your eyes. I'm not a Russian revolutionary, obviously. Oh, forgive me. And as for you, what kind of deduction was that? You were just saying the first thing that came into your head. Ah, but I was not right. Whilst venturing toward foreign climes, you do find yourself in a most troubling predicament, do you not? Dude, anyone can see that. Well, yeah, maybe. There you have it, you see. What do you make of that, Well, to be honest, this ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of a murder. So, I'm not really sure you could call it deduction. It's more plain observation. Indeed, an observation, my dear boys, the basis of all deduction. My method is founded upon the observation of trifles, you see. I announce my findings with a brassy certitude. And more often than not, I'm right. I don't think you introduced yourself. My apologies. How remiss of me. Every time we get a Susato takedown. I am none other than the greatest detective of the century, known to men and women the world over. The inimitable Sherlock Holmes. So, it's really you, the actual Sherlock Holmes. The very same. The inimitable actual Sherlock, as opposed to the cosplayers. Do you know this man, Susato-san? The most famous detective in the world, Naruhodo-san? Of course I do. There's nobody who hasn't heard of him. What planet have I been living on, then? You must ask him what he's deduced. He will have worked out the entire case already, I'm sure. Really? Why do I feel so uneasy about this? So, you're a great detective, are you? Sorry, what was your name again? Indeed, I am none other than the one and only Sherlock Holmes. I see, you're German? Sherlock, was it? No, I have no hair. I mean, I have hair. Please, call me Holmes. You can read all about my exploits in this exciting London publication. Oh yes, Rant's magazine, full of wonderful short stories and interest articles from Great Britain. I never miss an issue. I have it sent from England especially. Yes, here it is. The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes. So, you're the protagonist in a series of short stories, then? Indeed I am. And you've read so many of your own stories, you've started to think you really are a detective? Make no mistake, I'm not the poor, deluded fellow you take me for. Your inference is backward. Backward? My trusty biographer...
GGS.
Oh, thank you so much for the subby! Thank you so much for the 26 months! So remember the victim of case 1? Wait. Dr. John Wilson, wait. Don't tell me he was his assistant or something. You have a biographer, do you? Doesn't everyone? Mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson, presently keeping shop in Loche. Oh no. Is anyone gonna tell him? Dr. Wilson? I must say, thanks to that publication, I've been fantastically busy of late. Why, this very moment I am returning from Asia, having solved the mystery of a cursed royal crown. Really? I can't work out whether I should take this man seriously or not. Deduction, you see, is to me a science. Logical reasoning in its purest form. What, Uncle? Say it. Say it. A science? Really? The astute observer notices even the most subtle of reactions in his subject. A furtive glance, a twitch of a muscle, a slight inclination of the posture. Fingernails, arm sleeves, furrows in the skin, all these things are data. Right. And the trained logician makes deductions from this data in the blink of an eye. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth. As I demonstrated only a few short moments ago. How can he look at me in the eye and claim that? So you see, I have a turn both for observation and for deduction and fame. That is what makes me the one and only Sherlock Sholmes. Have you managed to deduce anything about this particular case yet? Have I managed to deduce anything, my dear fellow? Who do you suppose discovered the culprit in his most cunning hiding place? That's right. It was none other than the great detective before you now, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes. I see. In other words, I'm in these now because of him. When I became anxious about Kazuma-sama this morning, I summoned all the crew members to force the cabin door open. And I concealed myself among their number, gaining entry to the scene of the crime. Yes, luckily for everyone, the great detective, Sherlock Sholmes, was on board. And the handcuffs seem to be an excellent fit, Mr. Naruhodo. Ugh. The very moment I laid eyes on the scene, two facts were immediately apparent to me. What, that we're on a ship? Oh really, two facts, you say? Mr. Sholmes, tell us, please. What two facts were apparent to you when you came into this cabin this morning? That we are on a ship and that you were... and that you were clearly in a relationship with this man. Ah, yes, but first let us be precise. The two facts in question were immediately apparent to me. Yeah, I understand, but what were they? Allow me to elucidate. The two facts that I deduced from a mere momentary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number one, the cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprit out of the question. You know, I know it's not likely, but I can't rule. I don't think we can rule out this possibility. I know it's not likely, but have we stopped to consider that maybe the culprit also could have just thrown himself out the porthole? Like, I know there's water, and that's not like the best option of escape, but technically you can do that. Number 2, the victim was Russian and killed the following a dispute with an acquaintance. Hold on, Mr. Sholmes. What made you think the victim was Russian? Observe the dying message left by the victim on the floor. That is the Russian word for wardrobe. Do you really think Kazuma-sama could have left a dying message in Russian? In their final moments, many find their native tongue filling their head. For this young man, Russian. Kazuma was Russian, was he? Initially, I considered Guard and Rob maybe the name of the killer. A certain Robert Guard, perhaps. Oh my gosh, guys. Oh my gosh, Rob's the killer. No, I'm kidding. What a power move. I'm just thinking of that scene from Cinderella 3 where it's just, I forbid you from taking another step down these steps, and the killer just tosses himself out the portal like the prince does out the window. You know, assuming there is one. We can't see behind us, but if there is one. But in the interests of thoroughness, I decided it would be wrong not to look inside the wardrobe there at least. Where you found Mr. Naruhodo-san sleeping soundly. Quite so. I found you, the renowned Russian revolutionary killer. That I'm Russian too. I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquainted. Look. When you're a couple, sometimes people borrow their SO's clothes. And if my memory serves, that outfit is the traditional dress of the Russian people, like my headcanon that Zelda borrows Link's tunic. I mean, she made the champion's tunic, I'm just saying. Our school uniforms are the traditional dress of the Russian people. I had no idea. And I had no idea a detective could get something so wrong. I took a photograph of the victim and the message that I might analyze it for the people, for the hidden detail. Hi, JT. What? What are you?
Great goddamn shit. They taught this son of a bitch how to drive.
There's a dog.
Holy shit.
I don't think the dog can drive.
Dogs are trainable.
Dogs can't drive.
Son of a bitch probably uses his turn signal better than anyone else either.
Okay, you know what? True. This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered, before the body was removed. Yeah, Kazuma had already been taken away when I woke up. This is the first time I've actually seen him like this. I know! Cinderella 3 is the best in the trilogy, in my opinion. And it's a time travel story. It shouldn't be good by default. You can easily mess it up so much. But they did it anyway. It's time to appreciate Cinderella 3 in chat again. You've heard of Herlock Sholmes, now get ready for one Johnson. Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, thank you. Can I ask you something, Mr. Sholmes? What, pray? You mentioned Russia before as well, didn't you? You know, when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary fleeing from Russia and all of that. Ah, yes, the train of reasoning that led me to the truth. Okay, but if by the same logic, cats can also drive. And I'm sorry, I'm not putting Luna at the wheel. Would you mind explaining that train of reasoning to me, do you think? Certainly, if it interests you. How many times I'm not Russian and I don't speak Russian? Can we talk about your deduction before the things you concluded about me, I mean? The now famously accurate, troubling predicament you find yourself in. Actually, it was the other details that I was more hoping to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian revolutionary and assassin of 16 part. Sounds like an entirely different video game. Ah, yes, the more sordid details. It was a fairly commonplace deduction. Here we have this morning's paper. The main headline reads, Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. This vessel made a port call at Shanghai yesterday, and last night the young Russian was murdered. Since when was Kazuma Russian? It sounds like Mr. Sholmes has concluded he was Russian because of what Kazuma-sama wrote on the floor. It was a simple act of reasoning to realize that the culprit of this crime was the same merciless revolutionary. One who would kill the very man who helped him to escape after his true identity was discovered. Yes, you. Villain Bolshevik. No, how could it be me? I don't look anything like this man. Just look at his face. Well, you are a fearsome revolutionary after all. Yeah, but I'm not Nicolas Cage in Face Off. I can't just swap faces like this. Oh my gosh. No, cats wouldn't do that. Cats are maniacal like that. Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well. Please. And I might add, your name does not appear on the ship's passenger list. Need I say more? You think Maya could have given me an Anastasia costume? I want the sparkly yellow dress. Well, that's because I'm a stowaway. What about the other details? The 16 victims of assassination and blowing up the Crystal Tower. Ah, yes, the journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all those particulars in the article. The deeds the man has perpetrated thus far and those he is plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik was included. There can be no mistake. Do revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with newspaper reporters? I wonder. And what about the part where you said I was just returning from Afghanistan? Also quite clearly stated here in the article. Bolshevik has recently returned after a period of subversive activities in a war-torn region of Afghanistan. Where even is it anyway? This Afghanistan place, Ryunosuke has never looked at a globe. Here, take the paper for yourself, as a little memento of this great deduction. Thank you? I've absorbed all that is of interest to me within its pages, but I see no rubbish bin nearby. And you may find the article on the back of the page of interest as well. On the back? Cast your eye over it sometime if the interest takes you, though you may need someone to interpret. It's all written in Russian. I couldn't hope to read it. But I suppose it wouldn't hurt to just glance at the article. Maybe there might be a picture or two. Rasputin walks to Ryunosuke. You want to know how we did it? You want to know how we committed this crime? Recall how in Anastasia Rasputin had his little evil jar, his little evil vial of green demon, of little green demon imps that tried to derail the train and everything. And then all of a sudden Bartok's gonna come walking through the door. Any minute now I'm being like, oh, Kazuma, what happened to Kazuma? Anastasia was 100% accurate representation of history. Do you know how upset I was when I found out as a child that Zencha wasn't 100% accurate. Oh my god. Before we started talking, you were examining Kazuma's desk, weren't you? Kazuma? Ah, yes, the victim. Did you notice anything useful? Anything at all? Observe for a moment the desktop of the victim. We see that the victim was engaged in penning some text. London Diary. Kazuma was keeping notes of the trip. But I don't think you should read his private writings. It could upset people. Tragic. And something you ought to perhaps elucidate before the act of reading. You mean you've read it already? It is my business to know what other people do not. Yes, believe it or not, I know a smattering of Japanese. I see. Well, you're about to know what a Susato takedown is. Susato-san? Aren't you going to throw the detective with one of your trademark throwdowns? I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san. What on earth do you mean? The thing you just did to me like 2 or 3 times? Oh, I see, but he's exempt? Okay, fine. Life is so unfair. Anyway, to return to the matter at hand, namely this diary belonging to the victim. Look, Nacho, you never know. Could be an endangered species. There could be like 10 left in the wild. It would appear the final sentence is incomplete, as if the author were cut short. Tell me, what is the nature of the writing? Pray be precise as to the details. But I thought you knew Japanese. A smattering, dear boy. A smattering. Sayonara, bonsai, mikado, nado. I trust you're suitably— I'm really not impressed. I know more than that. But this diary is littered with complicated-looking characters, of which I can read precisely none. So what was all that showing off about before, then? If you would be so kind as to show me, I would be happy to read it to you, Mr. Sholmes. I'm much obliged, my dear madam. The final entry here in Kazuma-sama's diary consists of just 2 short sentences. The first reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. A whistling sound? These are very deep waters. Pray, go on. The second sentence reads, 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? What on earth does that mean? I have no idea. I've never heard that expression before. The ventilator grill, you say? The man was presumably referring to the lattice there on the wall, which connects to the adjoining cabin. The adjoining cabin? What Digimon do you think would be Sholmes' partner? To be fair, yes, if you do damage those goggles, those are probably, like, really expensive. So, I believe I've given you enough to consider for the time being, at least. Do you have somewhere to go? As it happens, the victim's writing in his diary have piqued my interest. The matter warrants further investigation, I believe, and if I am still too long, the seasickness takes hold. Nobody gave him Dramamine for the ship? I suppose. Wait, what year was Dramamine invented? You're thinking of investigating the cabin next door, which the ventilator connects to? Great detectives are a curious breed. Our minds rebel at stagnation. We crave mental exaltation. So yes, I intend to investigate, hence the truth will become clear soon enough. Do you think perhaps that we could go with you? No, that would be somewhat complicated. But why? A simple glance at your wrist should reveal the answer. Oh, please. After all, you're the prime suspect in this matter. No? There's no point trying to turn it into a question. You're the one who decided I was the culprit in the first place. Whatever do you mean? I have no recollection of naming you as the culprit at any point. You must be joking. You just said it only a moment ago. Dear me, you are clearly misguided. I would have no cause to say such a thing. Well, actually, Mr. Sholmes, I did hear you say that too. Witness! You're quite sure? Well, that's very strange. I wouldn't have said you had the face of a criminal, you know. Not really. So what? Were you looking at my knees before? Some great detective you are. Well, anyway, that was then and this is now. What do you mean? What I mean, sir, is this. Okay, Dramamine didn't exist yet. If you are the culprit, then you must play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your fate. Now he's just being plain rude.
This is nothing to LOL about.
No, no, it really isn't. Ryunosuke's husband is dead and being framed for murder. Nothing about this is funny. And off he goes, having just laughed in my face. His sense of humor is as twisted as his name.
Aren't you lactose intolerant? This isn't lactose, it's milk.
You're a fucking idiot.
Literally what they just thought of when he was like, I never named you the criminal. Naruhodo-san, what are you just standing there for? We must go and investigate the cabin next door as well. Aren't you forgetting something? What about these? Don't tell me she's gonna chop them in half. After Kazuma-sama spent his dying moment struggling to leave us a clue, you're willing to give up for some reason. I thought she was about, with her bare fist, was about to snap those handcuffs in two. You're just going to roll over and accept your fate? Oh, hold on, I gotta fix this. Hold on. There we go. As if you gave me any choice in the rolling over part. Okay, fix it. Oh no. There we go. I was gonna ask what Susato-san's doing on the ceiling. I think we still have some investigation to finish off in here first, don't we? Let's carry on examining what we can in this cabin while we wait for a chance to slip next door. Good idea. The situation doesn't look good for me, but there are still things I can do to help myself. And I owe it to Kazuma to do everything I can to find a way out of this. And bring the real culprit to justice. In this case, where Rose and Kazuma was clearly Jack. Is something wrong, Naruhodo-san? No, it's just that crewman standing by the door. I can't help feeling like I've seen him somewhere before. Oh yes, you're right. He does look familiar. Excuse me, sir. Yes? What can I do for you? Wait a minute. I know who that is. Wait a minute. That face, that hair, those glasses. It's red hair. No, I know who that is. Oh my gosh, wait a minute. Why is he here? What is he investigating? Why is he here? Why is he pretending to be a crewman? He went from pretending to be a restaurant waiter to a ship crewman. Why? I recognize that face, but it can't be. Oh my gosh, me and him have the same cough right now. We're like twins. It is. didn't know you were here, Inspector Hosanaga? Don't worry, I'm not coughing up blood. Hello again. What are you doing here? I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you, my heart stopped. Nearly stopped, I hope. Now I'm doing it! I received some special orders to go undercover as a member of the crew on board this ship. Again? You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector. If there's anything I can do to help you, please ask. I never expected to see this man on board. But perhaps his presence can help me out of this hopeless situation. So, what are your special orders this time, Inspector? Yes, and why are you dressed as a member of the crew? I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. I take full responsibility. For what? My orders were to act as Asogi-san's bodyguard. It was the Minister of Justice, Jigoku, who pushed for this overseas study tour to go ahead. And he entrusted me with ensuring that Asogi-san reached Great Britain without being assassinated. Assassinated? How could that even be a possibility? I'm not sure. But these are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Minister Jigoku said we should be prepared for all eventualities. This is incredible. I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama was assassinated? Obviously, we couldn't give Asogi-san a visible security escort. Oh, hold on. Let me pull things up while I have a second here. Oh, hold on. I have to authenticate back into Twitter. Give you a sec. Hold on. Oh, gosh. I can't authenticate. Which ones are the same? There we go. Oh, God. We couldn't. Gosh. Hold the phone. I can't see anything. Hold on. Refresh. It is not letting me see things. What? Oh, okay, here we go. I had to refresh like 3 times. Okay. Good. Good. Because writers in the video game industry also deserve fair pay and whatnot. Thank you. Just like people who work in the video game industry in general deserve better pay. Good. Do it. Okay. I can see again. Hello, everybody. Hello, good. Hello, this is good. Welcome. How are you, friend? Oh, the voice act. No, isn't it the writers and the voice actors? Or correct me if I'm wrong. But still, you know, voice actors. Oh my gosh, voice actors especially deserve better pay. But you know, oh my goodness, writers, voice actors, everybody in the gaming industry deserves better pay. Okay. Before I start coughing and get lung up. Which is why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew. I see. And I didn't take my eyes off him the entire time we've been on board, from morning until night, every day. But I never imagined it would happen here, inside his own cabin. Not here on the first-class deck. I failed miserably at my assignment, and Asogi-san is dead as a result. I'm a disgrace. All I can do is humbly apologize. Inspector? So if there's anything at all that I can do to help now, just say the word. I think they should too, Nacho. If they're able to, I 1000% agree with you. We're doing what we can to investigate Kazuma's death ourselves. I thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer. Of course not. We'd really like to investigate the cabin next door. Yes, so we need to be allowed out of this cabin. I'm sorry. What? You've been deemed a risk to the ship's safety. If you move to even touch the handle of the cabin door, the stormy-looking seaman there would surely snap your neck in two. I suppose I'm not just a stowaway now. They think I'm a murderer as well. Would it be possible to give me something to work with, do you think? I'm going to need something persuasive. What do you mean? If I had a solid reason why the next door cabin should be investigated, for example, I'd do everything I could to persuade the captain to allow it. Really, I'd lay my life on the line if I had to. But I don't see how. There may be a way. What? Really? I think of how you tried to persuade me of your innocence, Naruhodo-san. By presenting me with a piece of evidence that you already had in your possession. Evidence? It's just the same as when you are in court. You must have done it many times during your trial. Simply select the present panel and choose some evidence that Inspector Hosonaga could use. Evidence that would give us a viable reason to investigate the next door cabin, is it? Alright, I think I might know what we can use. Okay, present. So before we go, is there anything else here that we might have overlooked? I think that was everything. I know we didn't talk to him. Is there a point? I'm gonna see just in case. Excuse me. But I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. Would you mind if I investigated a little outside? I thought he'd actually have something to add. Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes. But 'tis not true, I see. Sorry? The criminal asking prison guard to help him escape, very funny. We're in the middle of the sea. There's no chance of me escaping. You stay in this cabin until next port. Then it is up to Hong Kong police to decide what they do with you. You stay. Alright. There's no point trying to appeal to this man's better nature, that's for sure. Okay, I just wanted to be sure that we weren't missing anything, honestly. Okay. I need a quick sip really quick.
Oh, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the wolf pack.
Oh my goodness gracious. I'm so sorry, y'all. I just don't want to keep coughing. Alright. How do I get back to where's Hosonaga so I can present what I want to? There we go. That's what I want. What's that? It's Kazuma's diary. Just before he died, Kazuma-sama wrote something rather strange in his diary. Strange? In what way? He wrote, what looks like some kind of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? That is strange. We're still trying to work out what he meant by that, but what I'd like to know is... Don't tell me. The ventilator, is it? You're very astute, Inspector. I told you I had a hunch. Right from the start, that ventilator was gonna play a part in this. That ventilator clearly joins to the next door cabin. That's the only way. That's right. So if we could investigate in there, we might be able to work out what the speckled band was. Alright then. I can't leave this cabin at the moment. I'm stuck here until we arrive at the next port. The captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see. I'll have to entrust the investigation to you. Really? You're willing to do that? Yes, as long as you don't leave the first-class cabin area. I'm afraid I can't remove those handcuffs, though. But what about the captain? Aren't you going against his direct orders? I'm a man of my word. And I promise you that I'll lay my life on the line if that's what it takes to convince the captain. After all, I failed to keep Asogi-san safe. This is the least I can do. Thank you. Let's seize the moment then, Naruhodo-san. Oh, it's definitely not the last we'll be seeing of him, though, for sure. Okay. See, I'm not gonna lie. I thought the same thing when he started coughing up. Me and my hypochondria, that was the first thing I thought of, because I remember that one time in college, I was also doing the same thing, and I went to my PCP, and I'm literally on the table crying, I have TB. And he's like, oh my gosh, you don't have TB. I'm finally out of that cabin. I have to admit, this isn't quite what I was expecting. It's less spacious out here than I thought it would be. And this is the most luxurious accommodation. Yes, indeed. Kazuma-sama was being sent on this study tour by the government. That's why he was being put up in a first-class cabin. Even still, this is about twice as large as my accommodation in steerage. Really? That must be awful. Oh, look over there! That's another crewman keeping watch. And he looks enormous, even if he is sitting down. The door next to him leads to the second-class accommodation. I suppose he's making sure that no one comes in here who shouldn't. I suppose, like people in handcuffs. Naruhodo-san, you look like a little boy visiting a toy shop for the first time. I would have thought you'd be used to the ship by now. We've been at sea for 2 weeks already. Yeah, I know, but the thing is, I was inside Kazuma's trunk when I first came aboard. And ever since then, I've been shut up inside that little wardrobe. It must have been a very trying time for you. Please don't give me that pitying look. All I know is Ryunosuke's gonna have back pain for weeks. That's a huge book on the top of the table there, and there's a pen next to it. Yes, that looks like the ship's log. Shall we have a little look through it? The writing is so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded. You wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such beautiful handwriting. And nothing. No reaction at all. I thought he might appreciate the compliment. I'm not sure that rough and ready is much of a compliment, Naruhodo-san. Even to a sailor. Anyway, last night's log is mostly blank. Presumably that means there was nothing to report. Yeah, it's called children. Children don't live with chronic back pain. This looks like a plan of the SS Burya. It shows each deck. Look. The Burya is a large-scale steamship with a triple-skinned hull. What a marvel of engineering. Well, it's been playing on my mind for a while now, actually, but how is it that such a huge lump of metal doesn't just sink to the bottom of the ocean? It's called We Haven't Hit an Iceberg. Oh, that's really quite simple, Naruhodo-san. It is? Well, consider the Japanese archipelago. The islands of Japan? Yes, they're not metal, but they are enormous lumps of earth, many, many times larger than this ship. And they don't sink, do they? They've been floating happily on the sea since the gods created them. Well, I suppose so. Look around and look around. Okay. What do you think this is? It's a very pleasing shape, isn't it? That's the emergency alarm. It's probably best not to touch it. An alarm? It says press only in times of emergency. It looks as though it sets alarm bells ringing all over the ship and brings the vessel to a complete stop. This I have to see. What are you doing, Naruhodo-san? You mustn't touch it. But this is an emergency situation. Just look at these handcuffs. They don't match my outfit. You know full well that's not what the alarm is for. If you were to bring this... He's literally gonna cause that one scene from The Office. Everybody stay calm. If you were to bring this vessel to a standstill for no good reason, you'd be in an even worse situation. I wish everything would just stop. The ship included. If you have to do something foolish, at least make it something that doesn't affect anyone else. A trap for catching mice. We have plenty of those back home in Japan. Although they seem to be using a lump of chalk or something as bait. Let me see. I think that's what is called cheese. It's made from the milk of cows. Eat it. I'm telling you, it's okay, 5-second rule. I'm telling you it's worth it. Cheese? I wonder what that tastes like. It tastes like gold. You can't eat it, Naruhodo-san. The trap will snap shut on your fingers. But I suppose you're right. You weren't actually going to try it, were you? All I've had to eat for the past couple of weeks is Kazuma's leftovers. You don't know how hungry I've been in that wardrobe. Poor you. I'll find a little snack for you later. I could never. Cheese is my life. My life is empty without cheese. This is it. This is the cabin next to ours, the one the ventilator connects to. Yes, the ventilator from which Kazuma-sama wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging. Maybe whoever's in this cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask. Do I need to know the password? Excuse me. We, need to get inside this cabin here. Distract him with cheese. This sailor's eyes speaks volumes. They're clearly saying, keep out. That's what I wrote on the sign we put over the wardrobe doors. Although this man's version is definitely more effective. It doesn't look like he's going to let us pass. That's a problem. How are we Man, we don't have a lot of options then. Excuse me, but could I ask you something? You little stowaway murderer. That wasn't a good start, was it? Alright, let me try instead. Good day, Mr. Sailor. I'm so sorry to trouble you, but could I perhaps ask something of you? You little third-class lady's maid. Oh, we seem to have caught the sailor on a bad day, Susato-san. What side of the bed did he wake up on? I am not sailor. My mother gave me name. I am senior crewman, beef stroganoff. Anyone want to go get some beef stroganoff after this? Is it cause he big beefy muscles? The best thing is to just avoid eye contact, I think. Mr. Stroganoff, about this first-class cabin area. Here we are, Vinespata Buria steamship, for very important persons. What sort of very important persons? Government officials. Kings and queens traveling in secret. Many important persons. That is why I am always guarding this place. Gosh, that's amazing. But somehow I let stupid stowaway inside. I want to pick you up and throw you in ocean, but stroganoff is not animal. Please don't. You don't know if I can float. Thank you? If I may, I was wondering, is the cabin next door to Mr. Osogi's currently occupied? Susato-san? Did you understand that? It sounded like da. I think it's probably Russian for yes. Or no. Genius. It is not permitted to visit other cabins without invitation. Well, it sounds like there is somebody in the next door cabin at least. Yes, it's tantalizing. That's right up there with Dead Man and... I miss that so much. Oh my gosh. I know. Ace Attorney names are the best. Max Payne. Oh my gosh, they're so good. Just nothing beats Dead Man. That was just... I literally... That is the one that sticks out to me. All that whenever somebody brings up Ace Attorney names and they're like, what's your favorite one? I'm just like, hands down, that's it. Could you tell us who's traveling in the cabin next to Mr. Osogi's? His name is Mr. Grimsby Roylott. He is very important Western gentleman. A Western gentleman? Do not think about it. He has nothing to do with murder of student boy. Right, Shelley did not remember. Wait, we legally changed his name. How can you be so sure about that? Mr. Roylott is authentic Western gentleman. Such a man would have no interest in lowly student from insignificant Far East Islands. That was harsh. Could you tell us when Mr. Roylott came aboard? Oh, Shad, you... Oh, gosh. Oh, you found out. I'm so glad you didn't get spoiled on that. It's so good. That is not your business. Come to think of it. Even though we've been at sea for 2 weeks now, and I've been in Kazuma's cabin the entire time, I've never once heard anything from the next door cabin, or even felt like there's anyone there. Well, presumably, since this gentleman is occupying one of the first-class cabins, he must be rather important. Is that right? That is not your business. Are you on watch here all the time, Seaman Stroganoff? Da, all time. No, so criminals like you cannot come in or get out. I wonder, could you tell us anything about last night at all? It is sad about student boy. Were you on watch last night as well? Of course. And did you notice anything at the time? Anything unusual? Susato-san? Did you understand that? It was clearly a no. I saw nothing unusual. Nothing at all. I'm suspicious of him. And you didn't hear any strange noises? Look, he's looking away. That's how you know when someone's lying. Or sense anything was wrong in some way. I said no. Sorry. I'm not sure. I could have sworn that he wouldn't catch my eye for a moment there. Hi, Rob. How are you? This is enough. I cannot say more now. Oh, it is time for me to report to Captain. You must return to cabin. Yes, all right. Bulkhead to second-class area is staying locked at all times. You escape when the lobster whistles on top of the mountain, or as English say, when the pigs fly. I understand. Oh yeah, Rob. You know, by the way, you're so heckin' guilty. Good, now we can investigate this area properly, shall we? Definitely. See, wait, Steven must have not. No, unfortunately. Oh my gosh. Can I just walk in now? This is it. This is the okay, can I just walk in? The ventilator from which Kazuma-sama wrote that he saw speckled band emerging. Stroganoff needs to step up his eyebrow game. He's just gotta wiggle them a little more. No answer. We're out of luck, it seems. There's no one in there to help with our inquiries. How annoying. Oh, that doesn't sound good. What was that? It came from inside the cabin. Such a high-pitched scream. It must have been a woman. Stand aside. I'm about to break the door down. Mr. Sholmes? I shan't be stopped. When the fit is on me, I revel in kicking doors off their hinges. Please, wait, Mr. Sholmes. The door doesn't appear to be bolted. It doesn't? Then how the deuce can I dispatch this muscular urge? What, pray, can I kick? I don't know, man. The floor? The wall? Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? No, wait. There's no time to think about stress relief. I'm crying. We're all just standing here yelling at each other. Meanwhile, we could literally be opening this door. Oh! Who are you? A Western gentleman? This man looks Russian to me. We heard a woman scream. A woman? Don't be absurd. As you can see, there's nobody but me in this cabin. This is totally not a Russian dude. Totally not the criminal from the newspaper. True, this old man does appear to be the only person in here. But in that case, who just screamed? Get out, all of you, now. Please excuse the intrusion, but you're Mr. Grimsby Roylott, I believe. Yes, that's me, and you are? He's clearly the killer. He's holding scissors. I am the one and only, the actual Herlock Sholmes. You've heard of me, no doubt. No. I am a great detective among great detectives, one who adorns the covers of popular magazines, no less. So I assure you, you may trust me completely. Wait, don't tell me, let me guess, this person is named Russian Man. Knowing the writers, they missed the opportunity. Y'all are killing me. Oh my god. This man uses that magazine like a business card. A detective? I do not trust detectives. We distinctly heard a scream emanating from within these walls. But there shouldn't appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time. So might I be so bold as to ask you to open that small traveling case? What? Don't be stupid. How could anyone fit in a small trunk like that? I get it. I don't know why I heard that like Tyleno screaming it from the corner. Well, it's quite fashionable these days, is it not? Traveling inside one's trunk. Don't look at me. The call-outs. Oh my! Did you see that, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, the case just shook. Leave now, otherwise I'll call this too. I thought he was about... Man, I wasn't expecting that. I thought he was gonna outright be like, or I'll kill you. So this is Cosima's neighbor, Mr. Grimsby Roylott. There's no doubt about it. The strange Russian man is hiding something. It's a very tiny... It's Pocket Link! Oh man. For real. Real talk. How come we haven't gotten another Zelda game with the Minish? Minish Cap is still one of my favorite games. It's so underrated. I couldn't agree more. Let's see if we could find some clues before that burly sailor returns. Oh, his mother probably taught him. He's just, you know, probably not listening to his poor mother. Mr. Roylott, we'd like to talk to you about something. No. Oh, I do not want to talk. Leave my cabin now. This is going terribly. We're not getting anywhere here. I agree, but there may be someone else who can help. Is he just taking a nap in that wardrobe? That great detective could get somewhere with Mr. Roylott. No, seriously, what is he doing in there? Get out of there! This is not nap time. Do you have a moment, please, Mr. Sholmes? You need only address me as Sholmes. That's what I just did, isn't it? Well, Mr. Sholmes, what were you doing in there? Why, I was resting, of course. Resting? Indeed. I was contemplating our sea voyage from the confines of the wardrobe whilst waiting. Waiting for the inevitable time that you would need to call my great powers of detection into service. Oh! And it would seem that the hour is upon us now. The time has come. Am I mistaken? Well, no, actually, you're spot on. For once. Observe closely. Our Russian host in this cabin, Mr. Roylott, is clearly trying to hide something. And do you know what is the most effective weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret? Why? The truth, of course. Though it should be pointed out that such methods are not exclusively for the Russians. It's not vodka. Right. Can you imagine how the Russian will react when the secret he guards so closely is exposed? Would you like to witness it? Oh yes, please! Well then, what you are about to see may well astound you. For I am about to apply my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. Could this man be a more hackneyed portrayal of a dubious Russian, I ask you? What? From time to time it occurs to me. Is the fellow dubious on account of his Russianness, or Russian on account of his dubiousness? I really don't think either of those things should be occurring to you, or anyone. That's right. And Mr. Sholmes. I know this man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on first meeting, but I once read, it is a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence. It biases the judgment. I must have complete silence. What are you doing? Why are you peering at my face like that? Ah, just as I thought. Yes, I have quite made up my mind now. There can be no other explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Roylott, I have reached two incontrovertible conclusions. What do you mean? Number one, your true identity is that of a villain. Using those shears, you are about to end the existence of something most dear. Are you not? Huh. And number two, the other conclusion I have drawn. You are, at this very moment no less, in the midst of committing a most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with nervous tension as you realize you have been discovered. Does it not? Naruhodo-san, I never imagined I would witness one of Mr. Shome's great deductions with my own eyes. That was a great deduction? Nothing can deceive Mr. Shomes. In a single glance, he can deduce all there is to know about a person. What? What ineffable twaddle? Oh yes, I've read about it countless times in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes. And now I've experienced the astonishing impact of his great deduction firsthand. This is like a dream come true. I can hardly believe it, but all the color is drained from Mr. Roylot's face. It looks like somehow both Mr. Shome's conclusions were right. How? How could you? How could I possibly know such things, you wish to say? Very well, then. I shall elucidate. I shall explain how it was that I arrived at this pair of conclusions. So I do cordially invite you upon a journey of logical discovery. Let us board the train of reasoning. Put plainly, let us work through my deductions together. Ooh! The game is afoot. Old man's identity. So, the dubious-looking Russian man, Mr. Roylott, obviously what catches the eye in the first place. Ooh, this is new! Is the enormous pair of shears in your hand. Now we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? To cut little snowflakes? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You are on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard you sport. Now, moving on. The question then begged is this. Why would you desire to rid yourself of this magnificent beard, Mr. Roylott? It's probably very itchy. Or maybe it's really warm out. Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. Regard, if you will, this morning's newspaper, in particular the fascinating front-page article. Which, it would appear, you have read also, Mr. Roylott. Nah, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's probably getting a kick out of this. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary. He's like, my entire life has led to this. My entire life's work. In translation, the headline reads, Revolutionary Villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. As you cannot fail to observe, the subject of the article possesses an extremely copious beard. You know, the wheelies would explain where how he just slipped into frame earlier. Having noted the article yourself, you decided to remove your incriminating facial hair before it gave you away. In short, your true identity is beyond doubt. You think those are safe on a ship, though? You are the fearsome Russian revolutionary himself, Villain Bolshevik. Not that I've heard of you myself, you understand. Now, as for my second conclusion, you are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime over there. Oh yes, Mr. Roylott. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see. And I assure you, the eye speaks so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. Oh, I'm sure his record's spotless. Not even a parking violation. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. It is time, I think, that the case be opened and its contents laid bare. No, I refuse. What could you possibly be concealing inside, we ask? By my estimation, a young lady, perhaps. One slight enough to fit there. Okay, dude. Okay, Sholmes. I am like one of the smallest young ladies there is. Even I can't fit in that. Don't be absurd. And what, pray, would be the identity of this young lady in the traveling case? Dear me, we are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless I just butchered a language, I'm sorry. Kudoel betrays you. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. It's a bag of holding, and it's just nothing but meat pies. The reason you refuse to open your traveling case can be equally be found in the pages of this newspaper. I'm sorry, this cold is killing me. But there is another, most stimulating article. Gosh, yeah, I kind of need the cough medicine. If we turn from the fleeing revolutionary to the back page. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novivik Ballet disappears from Shanghai. Such a headline can lead us to but one conclusion. She got good form on those point shoes. Your crime is that of abduction. And according to the article, the young lady's name is Nikolina Pavlova. That's not where I was going with the meat pies. That was literally from a campaign we did way back when with a meat with a meat pie, with a bag of holding with nothing but meat pies. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes's great deduction of this Russian enigma, Elemensky. Susato-san? That wasn't one of the great deductions I've been hearing so much about, was it? Well, the stories are full of Mr. Sholmes's brilliant deductions, you know. But that did seem a little different somehow. Oh, she's disappointed. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes, could you come over here for a moment? Pray, what can I do for you? It's about your deductions. Would you mind? Not at all. Go on. Well, to start with, there's the newspaper article. I think we had the same discussion before, but these two men look nothing like each other. Yes, I recall our discussion earlier, and at the time, I believe I told you that the man is a revolutionary, well able to revolutionize his own appearance. In fairness to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Roylott does look more like this man than you do. That's not the point. And another thing, the part about him abducting the ballerina. Indeed, a truly startling revelation. At first glance, the case would appear too small to accommodate a young woman. Not just at first glance, it is too small, clearly. You'd be lucky to fit a 5-year-old child into that case, even if you pushed really hard. I don't suppose the missing ballerina's a 5-year-old child, is she? You mean you don't know? No, the young lady is 15. No, I didn't know. How could I? Disclaimer, do not stuff a child into a suitcase and let it. Please don't. I didn't even think we'd have to disclaim that. Well, if she's 15, then 10 years worth of her would be poking out from the case. Some years ago, I read something pertinent, I believe. A troop of men consuming vinegar daily in order to promote a certain litheness in their bodies. Vinegar? For such a sour bunch, it would surely be simplicity itself to contort oneself into the confines of that small case. Oh dear, you might be thinking of contortionists in the circus, Mr. Sholmes. This whole thing is turning into a circus. Mr. Naruhodo, something's occurred to me about Mr. Sholmes' deductions just now. I think his powers of observation are, well, magical. His eyes cut to the heart of the matter almost instantly. It's just where he directs his attention and his logic that seem a little off. Your idea of a little may be a little off itself, Miss Susato. It's just one or two key words in his deductions that seem to let him down. So I was wondering if we might perhaps tactfully switch them for alternatives. What do you think? Switch some key words in his deductions? Yes, but very tactfully. I feel sure if we could do that, we'd unlock the true genius of Mr. Sholmes' great deduction. Precisely the thought that was going through my own mind. This man is a lot of work. At times I wonder how anyone puts up with me. You know what? I'll say this. At least Sholmes has a lot of passion. He's got a lot of passion. He's dedicated. He's dedicated to his work. I will give him that. That doesn't mean you're good at it, but you show a lot of gutso. You know what I mean? At times, I wonder how anyone puts up with me. It's not that funny. And you, my good fellow. Sorry? Take a moment to look at your wrists. My wrists? Where did they go? Where are your handcuffs? How did? I felt they may hinder your ability to follow me in our dance of deduction. When did he slip those off? I don't believe it. Mr. Sholmes, you are a marvel. And don't worry, I shall restore the shackles to your wrist when we are oh, thanks. I'm not worried. In fact, I'd rather stay like this. So, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. This isn't a Cirque du Soleil show. So the dubious-looking Russian Mr. Roylott, obviously what catches the eye in the first place. Oh, so are we just going through the dialogue again? The shears in your hand. Okay, that's in red. So am I supposed to, like... Hold on. Okay, I was curious here. That the profile does not say anything. Okay. Now we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? Oh, okay. That'll explain. I was worried. The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You are on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard. Oh. I'm not sure. Would you really use shears like that to cut off a beard? I doubt that's something I'll ever have to worry about. Doesn't quite sit right with me, though. Doesn't seem to be sitting right with Mr. Roylott either. Which means, I suppose, that the deduction is wrong. Let's try to switch a key word here, Naruhodo-san, and see if it helps matters. Alright, but how? I think we should start by taking a long, hard look at Mr. Roylott. I wonder if it's really his beard that he intended to use those shears on. Exactly. If we do manage to find something that seems to fit the sense of Mr. Sholmes' deduction better, then what? Then I'll leave the rest in your capable hands, Naruhodo-san. Why am I the one to do something about this? Well, anyway, let's see if there's anything we could even use to switch around in that last sentence. What exactly was Mr. Roylott going to use those enormous shears for? If I learned anything from all my farming sims, to make sheep more comfortable. That's what you do with those shears. Oh, you look around. Look around, look around. I'm sorry, I saw a lot of Hamilton memes on TikTok today. So it actually, the cat, copious beard. So it actually shows you what you can highlight. Coat buttons. Okay, that's interesting. Alright, hold on. I just want to take a quick sip. Okay. I'm good. Can I turn the screen? I can't go back. Oh, no, you can! Oh! Okay, now I got more choices. I was gonna say, it can't just be the hat. That's the only option. Oh, I love that. You gotta take in the surroundings. I do love this. Oh, you can use a... Okay, and I don't have to present. Okay, I like that. Can I... Anything on the trunk? No. Oh, look at that! I thought that was part of the jacket or something. That's hair. Wait a minute. Why is that hair blonde? This hair isn't. You were gonna cut those. What's this? It looks like a cascade of stunning golden locks. Is that Zelda under there? The color is not the point. The point is, what's it doing on the back of Mr. Roylott's head? And how is it growing out from underneath his thick black hair? Well, yes, that's true. Legolas! So it's stunningly beautiful and stunningly surprising. Something's definitely not right here.
Yes!
You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away the golden locks you sport. Indeed, you have identified the precise detail I was intending to expose. Such lush golden hair certainly does not benefit an old man. You're not a man at all. You're a woman, and judging from the length and sheen of your hair, one still very much in her youth. Oh no. Zelda? If only I had managed to cut off my hair, no one would have suspected. The question then begged is this: why would you desire to rid yourself of these magnificent locks? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary. Well, that was a shock. I had no idea that old man was really a young woman in disguise, did you? What? Why are you staring at me like that? Yes, it was a surprise, Naruhodo-san. You're enjoying this, aren't you? Sorry? You look like you're in your element as you dance around the room deducing the facts with Mr. Sholmes. I'm just doing what we agreed. I'm not having fun or anything. Baka. This is strictly business. Yes, I understand. Say no more. Thanks, Judd. Judd is also dancing around the room. Well, anyway, let's focus on this next part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction, shall we? The evidence that he's picked out doesn't fit the facts at all now. No, that's true, given that Mr. Roylott is actually a woman. Exactly, he, or rather she, can't possibly be this merciless revolutionary.
Oh, thank you for the hydrate.
That does help keep the coughing at bay. I suppose it's because the deduction as a whole has taken a different direction now. Yeah. Let's switch the evidence for something else. Something that fits the facts as we now understand them. For some reason, this woman needed to try to hide her true identity. I feel as though I've either read or heard about a young woman in a situation like that's the ballerina. Alright, I'll do my best. Not about the revolution. Where the heck? Oh, is it in people? No. Wait. Where's the... Okay, right, it's in the back. This is interesting. Have you found something relevant, Naruhodo-san? Well, no, I mean, it looks like it might be interesting. I can't read a single word, I'm afraid. No, nor can I, but look at this picture. Perhaps it's about a beautiful young Russian princess, do you think? She is very pretty, isn't she? I suppose you enjoy articles like this, do you? I don't know. I can't make any sense of it. I'm glad you've noticed this article. He wheelied in. Allow me to give you a short summary of its contents. Thank you. He pops up everywhere, this Mr. Sholmes. It's about the disappearance of a young lady last night. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovic Ballet. Okay, we heard all that. So really the man and killer is Rui Rocha. Oh my gosh. It would appear the woman was in costume when she was found to be missing from her dressing room. Wearing the diamond tiara you see pictured, which is worth some 20,000 ruble. Oh, I don't want to convert that to USD, but that sounds really expensive. How much is 20,000 rubles? I have no idea, but I'm quite sure. It must be an unbelievable sum of money. Susato-san's eyes are shining like diamonds themselves. The tiara is the property of the Novovic Ballet. It would seem the director is beside herself with worry. Let me guess. She stole the tiara and is wearing the disguise on the I've already figured this out. I'm not surprised. The company is most anxious to recover both Miss Pavlova and the valuable tiara. They've requested international assistance at all ports with sailings to Great Britain. Could this be another case of a Russian fleeing his or her country? It does seem to be the Russian thing to do. I'm not even going to dignify that with a response, Mr. Naruhodo. So do I just present... Okay, there we go.
Yes!
The evidence that reveals your true identity is of course, the article about the ballerina. That's right, you've hit the nail on the head. Can't believe Princess Tutu just committed, like, highway robbery. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovic Ballet disappears from Shanghai. It would appear we are finally able to address you by your true name. Yes, because your true identity is that of the Novovic Ballet's prima ballerina, Miss Nikolina Pavlova. I have a prima ballerina on my lap. Her name is Miss Luna. Are you gonna say hi to chat? Hold on. You gonna say hi to chat? You gonna say hi to chat, mama? No, she's just here to sit on my lap. Okay. Hold on. I can only play with one hand. I got one hand paying attention to cat. You're right. My real name is Nina. I mean, Nikolina Pavlova. But please, I beg you, don't tell anyone. I'm pretty sure you stole that tiara, though. I don't know. $207 is a lot for me, personally. As for my second conclusion, do you know how much cat food we could buy with $207, Miss Luna? Well, considering your food costs $50 every 3 weeks, that's like 4 months of food right there. Gizmo, when did you get in here? How long has Gizmo been asleep over there? Okay, here we go. You are at this very moment on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime over there. Oh yes, Miss Pavlova. I'm sorry, every 24 days, your food is like $55. So it's like almost 4 months worth of food. You guys eat better than I do. I'm sorry, I'm spoiling this cat. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see. And I assure you, the eye speaks so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answers we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. Okay, so at the time it was worth about 10K, but adjusting for inflation, 335 is, oh my gosh, that's a lot. That would pay off my house and leave us money left over. This woman is the ballerina, and she's right in front of our eyes. So clearly she can't be inside that traveling case as well. No, that's right. It seems she wasn't abducted at all. In which case, what is the crime this young woman is apparently committing? I can see I'm going to have to step in and fix the great detective's mistake again. You seem to look pleased, Naruhodo-san. Do you like the idea of another chance to dance around with Mr. Sholmes? Stop it. Anyway, there must be something else here that shows what this woman is up to. Oh, we can look around the room again. Miss Luna just got comfy. That's it, chat. I'm not allowed to get up. Oh ho ho ho. Oh ho 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 ho. Look right there. They're just right out in the open. Hi, Ilya. How are you? I can't believe it's right there. Why would you believe that if it's out in the open? That's not smart. Wow, look at this dazzling tiara. I've never seen anything like it. Are those real diamonds, do you think? Oh, Naruhodo-san, try it on. What, me? Isn't it usually girls who wear tiaras? Wouldn't you like to try it on? Oh no, I couldn't possibly. It's far too beautiful. Why does this tiara look familiar? It's the same tiara from the Princess Diaries. No, Ilya! No, why are you dying? Not allowed. I feel like I've seen it somewhere recently. So I just present, right? Ilya, can I offer you this cat? Can I offer you this cat? Like she helps it. You can come here and pet this cat. The proof of your crime is surely this tiara. I believe this tiara is worn on stage by dancers in the Novovic Ballet. Is it not? Indeed, it would appear to be identical to the tiara pictured here in this newspaper article. And if the reporting is to be believed, it's an item worth 20,000 rubles. In summary, the crime you have committed is theft. Oh no. Yes, you left your ballet troupe, unlawfully taking their precious tiara with you. Man, Barbie on Swan Lake really played out differently than I remembered. I have no one, no family, no friends. I am all alone and I need money. What? But I did not steal the tiara. It was a present from, how do you say, an earl? Of Prussia. It belongs to me. This girl is only 15 years old and she's a runaway all by herself? She must have been extremely lonely. I promise this is Ace Attorney. Alright, I will tell you everything. There is no point to hiding it now. Come, come, let us not be hasty. What? There remains one unsolved mystery about you. Mystery? What do you mean? You have staunchly refused to open this traveling case of yours in our presence. It is reasonable to conclude, therefore, that there exists some reason why you wish it to remain closed. Is that not so, Miss Pavlova? My dear girl, there is no sense in playing games with me. Nothing escapes my attention. Indeed, I have a very good idea of the contents of your case even before I have ever laid eyes on them. Dear me, we are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless oh no, not this again. Your careless kudo betrays you. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written in the books on the shelf. He's completely changed tack with his deduction now. I think Mr. Sholmes is adapting his logic to the changing circumstances, don't you? Maybe, but why has he suddenly brought the bookshelf into all this? It's just a wild guess, surely. Do you think so? Well, it doesn't seem likely that the reason why this young woman doesn't want to open her case would have been written in a book that doesn't even belong to her. That's true, but still. Miss Pavlova certainly did cast her eyes in that direction. I noticed it myself. And then there has to be another reason why she won't open her case. And it must be somewhere in the same area if that's where her gaze was involuntarily drawn. I agree. That's the only answer. Whatever she has hidden inside that case should be revealed by following her gaze in the direction of the bookcase. So you got the small picture, book on shelf, and the rules of passage. Can you not highlight the little... See, I thought you could highlight the little statue here. I guess I'm crazy. But if we're going... I mean, if she's looking all the way back here, wouldn't she be looking at the rules of passage?
Yes!
Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written in the rules of passage. No pets, no dangerous items. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Tell me she's got a pet in there. Inside that case of yours is something forbidden from carriage on this vessel. That is the real reason why you refuse to open it, thus revealing its contents. Release the puppies! As we've seen, the trunk wobbles from time to time, but no weapon or other dangerous item would move of its own accord. Which leaves but one possibility, Miss Pavlova, inside your traveling case. Is the last item listed as forbidden in the vessel's rules of passage a pet? What if it's a bunny? What if it's a bunch of guinea pigs? Rob, that's gonna be one giant tarantula if it's causing that much of a ruckus. So clearly, you aren't who you said you were. No, I am not Grimsby Roylott. My real name is Nikolina Pavlova. Everything you said was correct. You absconded during one of your ballet company's performances in order to escape your homeland. Later that same night, you stole aboard this vessel. Which couldn't have been easy. The Buria is a huge steamship with a vast crew. Could she really have snuck on board without being noticed? In order to observe your true identity, you somewhat recklessly took the guise of an old gentleman, and you intended to sever all links with your past by severing your long hair. Yet to a woman, hair is no trifling matter. My personal recommendation is to leave well alone. So, if it was just you about to cut off your own hair, who was it that let out that scream we heard from outside the cabin? That veritable tinkling of a bell? Why, none other than this young lady, naturally. More like a full set of pipes, if you ask me. I was so scared when I ran away from Shanghai. I was sure they would come looking for me. That's why I decided to, how do you say, disguise myself so no one would recognize me. As a result, you transformed yourself into that questionable old man? I see. You just hear a noise coming from in there, and it's just a bird, and it's like, what doing? I put on the fur hat and fake beard. Then, just before you came in here, I saw in the newspaper, right on the page, there was a picture of me. I was so frightened, I couldn't stop from screaming. I knew that if I didn't change my appearances completely, they would find me. So I decided to cut all my hair as fastly as possible. I picked up the scissors in my hand and... At that precise moment, we walked in through the annoyingly unlocked cabin door. Things happen like that sometimes, don't they? Things do indeed happen like that from time to time. Are those two even talking about the same thing? There's just one more thing I'd like to know. What exactly do you have inside your traveling case? You've right. It is my dear friend inside, my only friend in the whole world. Please, don't tell anyone. If the captain finds out, if you say to any of the crew... Your secret is safe with us, I assure you. But in return, you must tell us, in as much detail as you can muster, about the events of last night. Yes, all right. I will tell you. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, wasn't it something, Mr. Shome's great deduction? Well, certainly something, yes. I'm just not entirely sure what. But at least Miss Pavlova has agreed to tell us what she knows. That's incredible. Indeed, it is incredible. And one more thing. Yes, what? Observe your wrists. Oh, they're back on, aren't they? Yeah, okay. Your hands! They're cuffed again! What? But how? True to my word, I have restored your shackles. When and why? There is still a shadow of guilt cast over you, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm sorry to say, it can't be helped at the moment. Can it? Really? Why is Ryunosuke's look the same as Maya's? I can't. You can't look away for like 5 minutes before it's like, oh, you're on trial for this crime. Anyway, let's listen to what Miss Pavlova has to say. I can't go on not knowing. I have to find out what the speckled band that Kazuma-sama wrote about in his diary really was. Did you know that someone was killed in the cabin next door to this one last night?
One of the crewmen told me this morning when I was eating breakfast. The man who died, he was a friend of mine.
Oh! That's why we're trying to find out what happened. Did you notice anything unusual last night?
Perhaps you heard a strange noise, for example. Perhaps people talking?
Perhaps the ship was absorbed in a wild tempest. Perhaps its steam engine exploded. I learned about Pavlova from Bluey, actually, of all things. Perhaps everyone on board would have noticed if that had happened. It looks delicious.
Miss Pavlova? Is there anything you can tell us?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, but all I could think about last night was what I had done and whether they would find me. I didn't notice anything that was happening around me.
I see. You've been running away from your ballet company, haven't you? The Novovic Ballet?
Yes. I am traveling to Great Britain, and from there, I want to go to America. I will never dance again. I want to forget everything about the ballet. I will start a new life.
You wish to forget. A challenging proposition when you have that striking tiara as a reminder.
But the tiara's mine! I need it to live. I have no money of my own. The Novovic Ballet gives us only a little food and water. And we must dance all over the world. I had to run away. I had no choice. If I stayed, it would have killed me.
So you ran away to protect yourself?
Yes, and the crew of this ship. They have all been kind to me.
Yeah, in that case, if they're committing child labor, yeah, let her sell the tiara. Let her get away from all that.
They let me come on board. They said I could hide in this cabin.
If that is indeed the truth, Miss Pavlova, it creates a most intriguing conundrum.
Yes, it does.
What do you think about it, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, well, yeah, of course. I think we should hear Miss Pavlova's explanation. To what conundrum, I'm not sure, but... Miss Pavlova, allow me to pose you a riddle. According to this newspaper, it was only yesterday that you absconded from the ballet. Longer, larger, oh no. I'm assuming it's supposed to say farther on that plane, but it's just fart. I'm gonna sit while the chocobo dance. I'm just thinking about that one scene from Black Swan with her feet. And I just cry internally. Now, that being the case, it must have been last night that you boarded this vessel. However, the SS Burya stopped by no port last night. That's it, of course. So how is it, pray, that you come to be aboard?
Now that I think about it, the crewman outside the cabin acted very strangely when we mentioned that.
He helped her.
It was just after we asked him about when the occupant of this cabin came aboard.
Watch, he's a big softie and he knew. Yeah, you're right. He did seem to be hiding something. Watch, he's just a giant teddy bear.
An angel descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to the stage.
Sorry? What was that?
It is how the Russian newspapers described one of my performances. And that is how I came here too. I descended from the heavens because I am an angel. Considering English isn't your mother tongue, your description's very vivid. Mr. Sholmes once said, I never can resist a touch of the dramatic. It seems Miss Pavlova is the same. A genius descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to detection. Words once said about myself. A quote from a wonderfully extravagant advertisement for The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes, in fact. Yes, Mr. Showy. Anyway, it doesn't look like Miss Pavlova's going to tell us what really happened. So the friend you mentioned is inside your traveling case, is that right? I don't think animals are allowed on board according to the rules of passage. Oh, please, don't tell. Don't tell any of the crew. If they found my precious... Then the burly Russians would bestir themselves in unison to throw you and your case overboard, no doubt. So reassuring, Mr. Sholmes. But what sort of pet is your friend? A little puppy? It is, isn't it? Maybe an adorable little rabbit? You credit Russia as a land with small rabbits, do you? I thought so too. Don't they have small rabbits there, then? You may well ask. I have no idea. You two are miserable bunglers when it comes to understanding the nature of young ballerina's friends. Isn't it obvious? It must be a chicken. Really? Consider the benefit. A rousing wake-up call, daily fresh eggs. Because when you're a lad and practicing to be a prima ballerina, you eat 12 dozen eggs to help you get large. When adversity strikes, it could satisfy the needs of sustenance. So you'd eat your friends. I'll remember that. Well, it would appear this friend's identity is a closely guarded secret to be revealed. She obviously doesn't quite trust us yet. There's something I should like to show her, I think. Maybe she might be able to shed some light on it. What do I want to show her? Ooh, I mean, literally this is all I have. Oh, wait a minute. Can she tell us what the speckled band is? Maybe? This is the diary of my friend who passed away. His diary? Yes, and he wrote in it last night before he died. Something a little unusual. It reads... 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. And then a few minutes later, 1:35 a.m., what looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. Watch, it's a pig. Watch, it's Waddles. A speckled band? I don't understand. It's strange, isn't it? But the ventilator he mentions joins to this cabin, you see. I would normally say horse. Can't fit a horse in there. It's up there on the wall. In other words, this cabin and the victim's cabin are connected together. Well, I love spiders. That would be a really big spider. Oh! Miss Pavlova? Has something occurred to you? Does the speckled band the victim mentioned mean something to you? Or the whistling sound, perhaps? I know a parrot could. It's like that one African oh my gosh, you know? Hold on. I'm gonna show chat what I'm thinking of. I'm looking for the video. Where the heck is he? I'm pretty sure I've shown this video. I'm pretty sure I've shown this video in stream before. But this is literally what I'm thinking of when
This is literally what I'm thinking of when we bring up the whistling sound. And this is literally the thing I'm thinking of. Hold on. Hold on. This is literally what I'm thinking of. Oh no, wait, I'm in full screen. Ah! Luna, where are you going? Come back. Luna. Okay. This is what I mean. A parrot could easily make that whistling sound. The poor puppy jug bug is so good.
Your tea bag goes in
I'm
the
telling
cup.
you.
Ready?
It's the only explanation. Okay, I had to do that. I want to see if I can find the cockatoo I saw earlier when I was doing birdism work. Hold on, the cockatoo that got kicked someone out of Walmart. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Hold on, no, hold on. Okay, I found it. Wait. I saw this earlier this week while I was doing birdism work. I just have to show y'all because it's so hilarious. Because I started crying. You know this is gonna be good when it's a cockatoo.
How my bird got us kicked out of a Walmart the day that we adopted her. Disclaimer, she's weird.
Within 20 minutes.
I don't think I did, Ilya.
Susie, she got us kicked out of a Walmart.
Watch her face.
Kicked out of a Walmart.
Yeah. Tell them, Mom.
Because somebody saw her and called her a pretty bird.
Mm-hmm.
Susie.
Wait for it.
Profanities.
Yeah.
Very loud. As follows. I'm not a fucking bird. I'm not a fucking bird. I'm not a fucking bird.
Help!
At the top of her lungs.
I just watch this bird. Just wait for the reaction. I would do it again too. Oh, it's so good. I'm so sorry I had to share that. It's so good. I'm assuming they got kicked out of the Walmart because the cockatoo was dropping the F-bomb. At least that's my assumption.
Salami.
I'm sorry, derailing this whole game. I just had to show y'all that because I saw that while I was doing that birdism work, and I saw that on Facebook, and I started crying. It's always the best when it's a cockatoo. Oh my gosh. That's why I'm hoping it's a parrot.
No, I don't know anything.
Oh. Oh no way we're gonna be done with this case tonight. I actually, I didn't look up details about the case, but I just wanted to see how long this case is gonna be. And I was like, oh, this is gonna take a while. Excuse me, Mr. Roylott. How did she change that? That was instantaneous. This is 3 steps. Oh gosh, okay. Yes, what? Wow, she's fast. Then again, I think I saw 3 sections, so you might actually be right on the ball with that. Captain would like to speak with you. You must come to Captain's quarters at once, please. So this might actually take 3 streams. Just for this case. Alright, I will come now. What? You must leave now. Oh no, it's fine. Don't mind us.
Yes, please don't worry about yourself, Mr. Roylott.
Get out!
The passenger said out. Or do you want me to throw you out?
Looks like we'll have to leave investigating this cabin until later.
What a pity.
Oh, okay. Section 1's the longest? Okay. And so we lost our chance. Having still not managed to investigate Miss Pavlova's cabin, we were unceremoniously chased out. That is to say, we were quite literally picked up and thrown into the passageway outside. Okay. Well, look at that. We got through part 1 tonight. So we did manage to get through the longest part of this case, at least. So normally I would go for like another 25 minutes. I think this is 1, I think this is a good stopping point. 2, I've been kind of getting a little bit of a headache during stream tonight. So I don't know if it's the sinus pressure or whatnot, but this is where I'm gonna call it. But yeah, I did hope you guys enjoyed the start of case 2. I'm really interested to see where this is going. Also, the fact I can't believe Kazuma's McFricking dead. I'm gonna be in shock for the rest of the night, honestly. I'm so upsetty. Oh my goodness gracious. But yeah, thank you guys so much for stopping in tonight. There should be a Final Fantasy X-2 stream tomorrow. As long as this headache doesn't like get worse. I'm gonna go take a Tylenol. I'm gonna turn off the lights probably. But yeah, as long as the headache gets better, which I don't see why it wouldn't, but we should be continuing Final Fantasy X-2 tomorrow. Kazuma lives on in the hearts of all of us. In the words of the famous Celine Dion, our hearts will go on. For sure. We will, however, be rating a friend. There are probably friends we'll still be able to catch because it is before midnight. At least here it is. So, I'm gonna toss that. I'm gonna go see who's still alive. I'm gonna toss the phone over the them. And sleep. I'm gonna try to go relieve maybe the sinus pressure. I'm not sure what's giving me a headache, but I'm gonna go try to nip the headache in the butt. But I still hope you guys had a good time tonight. Thank you so much for being here, and I really hope you enjoyed the stream. I love you guys. I'm throwing in the socials as we speak while I go look for a friend for us to raid. As always, you guys do not have to follow any of them, but they are there. I totally forgot to once again add the link to the TikTok page that I literally just made, so I'm gonna do this manually like a heathen. You can follow the TikTok page there if you would like. And let me see who is currently still live that we can go. Okay, I was hearing things. I thought the cats were up to something. I'm just hearing things, apparently. But yeah, let us go see who's still alive. I mean, this was a good stopping point. I feel good. I feel good about it. We are ending just a little bit before midnight, but I feel good about it. Let me see. Pulling up that list. Oh my goodness gracious. Unless anyone has any suggestions, of course. But I actually see Virtue's still playing. Virtue's streaming tonight. Number one. And honestly, I don't get to catch Virtue I don't get to catch her all the time. So I think that is where I will leave you. I think that is where we will drop in for the night. She's playing the Witness, which is gonna be, which I know has a lot of puzzly kind of game. I think I got that for free on the PS4, maybe during when they were giving out free games during the pandemic, if I remember right. Either that or I got it on the Epic Game Store for free. It's been something I've been wanting to play, but I always enjoy watching people who are way better at puzzle games than I am. It's just probably a good way to go chill tonight. So, like I said, I adore her. I don't get to raid her that often. So, yeah, go give her all the loves. And I will see you guys tomorrow for more Final Fantasy. Like I said, I'm just gonna go take some Tylenol and maybe make some tea. Some tea might actually help my head right now. But I love you guys so much. Thank you so much. I hope you, like I said, I hope you guys did enjoy stream tonight. It means the world to me. You guys were here and hanging out. Even though I'm struggle busting with the cough and everything, thank you guys so much for sitting through that. I appreciate it. Don't forget Mini Kit Marathon's coming up soon too. So when the schedule for that is posted publicly, I will let you guys know. But I will be playing a little Lego The Hobbit from Make-A-Wish Foundation. I know Tylenos also has a pretty cool segment, am I right? So, you know, hopefully stay tuned for that as well. But other than that, guys, have a fantastic rest of your night. Take care of yourselves. I love you. You are valid. And I will definitely see you guys tomorrow night for more Final Fantasy shenanigans. And remember to give Virtue what they loves. Have a good night, guys, and have a fantastic day tomorrow. I love you all. Bye-bye!